Hello, and welcome to Hurston, and this lovely vocational village here called Ripple. I can never remember which way around it is. It's very picturesque, as you can see. It has a unique thing at this village that is this big fire pit where you can throw in your unwanted rubbish, corpses, garbage, etc. But it's this thing we want. There's two of these at this location. I don't know if there's some kind of power reactor or something. But the unique thing about these is once you jump in, you will start taking damage, and I believe that it is radiation damage. Now, I'll kind of go into why I think it is, and why it might not be, I don't know. But obviously this footage is sped up 10 times, because I was in here for a long time. The idea was to see, on one canister of goo from the med gun, how long I could last in there, and how many injuries I would get. I think this is radiation, but we don't know if it's radiation, because we don't have the HUD elements at the moment. Now, we know they are adding it, as you can see here in the latest IC, you can see it's a radiation symbol. And there's also in CitizenCon, they showed a whole panel thing about radiation. I think we don't know it's radiation because we don't have the HUD elements to show that it's radiation. At the moment, we're in the old UI HUD elements, because it was the same when we were in Pyro for the tech preview, when you'd hit by the solar flare. There was nothing to indicate that you were receiving radiation, you just kind of took damage. But anyway, there's a bit from CitizenCon about this radiation stuff, so I'll quickly play that.
Bone, can you press the button? That's it. Okay, radiation, right. So radiation, for that, it's a new addition to this active status system, and we need to look at the bottom left here. So in the middle, you got the amount of radiation that being pushed on your body. If you have a directional source, it's based on your body surface and your distance to that source. So by going behind the cover here, I can completely cut off all the radiation. So I can use that. And then on the left, we have an icon that has a shield around it. Now, that shield works in two ways. Right? First of all, it comes from your outfit. So depending on what you're wearing, you're going to have a better or less accurate shield, right? It has a threshold. As long as your radiation doesn't exceed the threshold, the shield will hold true. It'll scrub all the radiation off, and you can stay there as long as you like. But as the shield starts peeling off, when the radiation gets higher, the shield will peel off. And the radiation sickness kicks in right at the end of the video here, and my health just deteriorates super, super quick.
So this is why I kind of think that this is radiation, because you do take damage when in here, and we just don't have the HUD elements to let us know. So basically I did a little testing. I have different variations of armor levels. So we have our naked guy, we have our Pembroke armor, our Novikov armor, undersuit, light armor, we have our medium armor, and we have our heavy armor. It's the clothing variant, so there's no undersuit, but each piece counts as armor. And then of course we have our normal standard heavy armor. And I basically wanted to see how long you would last in these different types of armor. So you can see down the bottom of you can see the health dropping. So, boop, we're dead. And obviously this is sped up, but you can see the time clock on how long each one lasts at the top of the screen there. Now when I say I think this is radioactive, I don't think it's like the kind of radioactive you would get, like nuclear reactor sort of radiation. Like I wouldn't walk into a nuclear reactor and come out and just stop taking damage, because you're now irradiated and those X-ray particles are embedded in your particles and all that. I don't know about radiation, I'm not a scientist. I think this is more kind of your solar radiation, your microwave sort of radiation. It's like once you leave here, you're no longer taking damage. So I think this is like a giant cylindrical microwave. And I think that's the kind of damage we're taking here. So I have the Pembroke and a Novikov here because they both died at the same time, but I kind of wanted to test because one is made for a hot temperature, for like a hot climate, and one was made for a cold climate. I just wanted to see if that would have any effect. It didn't. The thing I was kind of surprised with was the fact that they died before the undersuit, so they kind of had less protection, which is a bit weird. And then you have your light, your medium, and your heavy kind of left here still. Now your light armor is going to give you like 20% reduction to damage. Your medium 30% reduction to damage, and your heavy is going to give you 40% reduction to damage. Which I kind of think makes sense when you look at the speed in which each one dies. It's kind of like we're in this box and every second we're taking 20% or 20 damage to each limb, and the damage reduction reduces the chance of getting injuries and kind of stuff. I don't know that. I think that's how that works. So the ones that have less percentage of protection, you're more likely to get injuries because you're receiving more damage per hit or more per tech or something. I'm not quite sure. But basically, this is kind of my science I was doing that day. And then, of course, I was doing this while I was streaming. So one of the criticisms I got was, oh, this is just fire damage. But if you walk on a fire, you die like pretty instantly. Here you can see like I'm taking mad damage and died like super quick. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's radiation. Do you guys think it's radiation? Leave it in the comments. I think it is radiation. We just don't have the HUD elements to let us know that it's radiation. It'll be interesting to see when we get 323 and we have that HUD elements. I'm definitely going to come back here and check, but I think this is radiation. What do you guys think? Is it radiation? Do we already have radiation in the game? Anyway, if you liked the video, thumbs up, thumbs down. It was just a little science idea I had when I was streaming. It's like I wanted to test whether different levels of armor give you different protection, and it'll be interesting to see when we actually get radiation and pyro if armor levels help with that kind of radiation or other radioactive sources. Anyway, have a great day. Catch you next time. Peace out.